and welcome to Two Girls, One Pod. I'm Crystal.
I'm Melissa.
And
I'm Tina.
Yeah!
I was like, will she just say it? Because we never said you were, we always jump in and then last minute, we got it.
We got it.
Becoming a pro at this now.
I'm telling you,
Right?
you're part of the pod squad now. We should get like matching t-shirts that say pod squad.
There you go. Sounds good.
So if you didn't catch it, it is Melissa, Crystal, and Tina for your Big Brother after show.
Yeah, so we all just watched Sunday's episode. What are we thinking so far, guys?
Well, I said to you guys before we started recording that I should have gotten one of the best kind buys apparel shirts that said "Umi Nerves," because that's how I felt the whole for like fucking Frenchie. He gotta go. He's too hard on my stress levels.
Right? He's like putting me at top anxiety. It's so bad.
Yeah, he's brutal.
Yeah, it's oh god, I don't know. Just words can't even describe.
It honestly
right now.
can't. Like Tina, if he was in the Big Brother Canada house, like I know they're not showing us everything, but like even just the way that he just flips his switch off and on, like how would you have felt with that? Like
It's that type of player is a dangerous player to have in the house because they're loose cannons. You never know who they're going to align with. You never know what they're going to say. If your game's going to be thrown under the bus, with him talking to somebody else, it's too chaotic. It's unpredictable.
Yeah.
And that's something that people don't like at the very beginning stages of the game.
Like week 2. I mean, come on, right? Settle the fuck down.
Like day one, he jumped in
Simmer
right
down.
away. Like settle, like get to know each other a little bit.
You need a slow burn at the beginning.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, not to manage. I feel like people pick up on energies. Like there is something to be said about like an energy, and he is coming across like my TV in a stressful, chaotic energy. So I can't imagine being in this house with like nowhere to go and nothing to do with that energy coming.
I mean, even on a calm day, the paranoia and all that is still kind of on your mind just on a regular calm day. So I mean, if you have someone like that in the house who's amping that, all those feelings and emotions that you're going through, and they're amping that up 10 times. I mean, it's just not good for anybody's game.
Yeah, ready to get the freaking boot. So Kyland is our new HOH. So we open up the episode with new HOH.
Yeah.
How do we feel about Kyland with his head of household so far?
I like Kyland. I think he's a nice, genuine kind of person. How far that'll get him, I don't know. But I really do like him. I just like everything about him. He gives me kind of the warm fuzzies,
He does.
He's
just a nice,
sweet.
Yeah. So it seemed like he was really thrown off, though, I guess, at the beginning, because he mentioned that they thought that it was going to be a unanimous vote for Travis to go home. And then there was like 2 rogue votes, which I thought was kind of hilarious because I guess, as it turns out, Frenchie asked Tiffany to throw that out there. And I think it was just smart. Like, I just did it for Phil.
I think it was smart for her to play along with that, though, and do that because the minute that comes out of his mouth, that's ammo she can throw.
She knows
right
where
back.
It came from.
Yeah, that's right. So
I love that she said that's, to me, when she said that, that's something I wasn't even thinking about, and I was like, that's the fucking strategy. Like, okay, Frenchie, like, cool. Why don't you throw a rogue vote? Like, he's thinking he's over strategizing everything. He's overplaying. But like for her to go along with that and throw it out, she's like, you know what? Like it's a small risk. And when it comes out, I can blow up his game, which
exactly. And it's not going to be deflected on her at all. Right.
Yeah.
Like, she can use that to her advantage. So I think it's smart to have that in her back pocket.
I think so too.
Sure.
I loved Derek explaining that he threw out the second one and it was just random. He's like,
sprinkle that shit everywhere.
Fun. Like, let's just throw it out and see what happens. Like, I really like him.
Yeah, I do too. I thought it was really, really funny.
I really am gonna like Tiffany too, because I'm like when she called out Frenchie when he's like, I know who it was, and she's like, why even say that? Like you could see she's getting really annoyed with him, and I don't think she's gonna take shit from anybody in that house.
No, I liked her from the get-go in terms of, just even her bio videos.
Yeah.
But the more, episodes that goes on, the more I like her.
Yeah.
And her being the oldest in the house, I mean, gotta root for her
Right.
anyways, right?
But she's so smart though too. Like just little things that they did, like when they kind of I don't know if I'm going too far. No, I shouldn't be. I wrote my notes in order. But like when her and Aza are in the room or whatever, and then so like she's pretending that she's crying because she's so missing her son, but really it's just a cover up. And I'm just like, you guys are so smart.
I have a note. I have a note on my phone. It literally says, when Tiffany was fake crying into Aza's arms, I lost it. Right. Love Tiffany. When Derek X backed out of the room, I died.
Yeah,
I lost it.
Yes. And it was like, this accomplished exactly what we wanted it to. It made people feel uncomfortable, so they felt like they were walking in on something, and they were just not what you thought.
Yeah, exactly.
Genius. That's genius.
So smart.
Like, strategizing. I really like that duo too. Like,
I do too.
Duo.
Yeah, I do too.
I like them.
Yeah, I made the same note that was just fucking cracked up. Like
I did. I was laughing. I was like, so smart.
Well, first I sat there watching and I was like, oh, that's gotta be hard. Like she missed the sun.
I know, right?
I was like, oh, that's rough. Like, get it out, girl, right? And then she started laughing. I was like, what's happening here?
Yeah, I loved it. I thought those two were great.
Yeah, definitely. I enjoyed them.
So fast forward to our wild card competition. Am I skipping ahead of any of your notes?
Nope. Yeah, I got a note here. I think, like, Frenchie going around and saying I'm out and going in room to room, telling people who are in his alliance, I'm out, I'm done, I'm out, like that was just so bad for his game doing that. He just literally pissed off the people who he's supposedly working with, because that's essentially, outing who he's playing with.
Yeah.
That was so bad for his game.
And I mean, he just made that alliance like essentially 3 days ago.
Yeah.
But I mean,
and again,
anybody's
it just
surprised.
goes to shows that it's a loose cannon, right?
Yeah.
And it was a terrible alliance.
It was.
The 8 people alliance of like all the members, like they all like hate each other. And I get it. Like he's in the room. He knows that Kyland is hearing his name. He knows Kyland's probably going to put him up. Like he's reading him. Great. But like in that moment, are you really thinking that, okay, I know how to make this better. I'm going to go around and flip out and make everybody in the house really uncomfortable. And then they're going to keep me. They won't put me up. Like, I feel like he's just really reactive and emotional. Like, he's like, he's ready to blow at any minute,
Yeah. Like, he ended last week, on his HOH as essentially being a target just for all the antics that he pulled last week. And, he's doing nothing so far to deflect away from what had happened last week. So, I mean, if anything, he's making it worse.
Yeah. It's like we said, we were like, if he could leave his HOH and do major damage control, like if he could keyfer it and like
that's right.
That major damage control and convince them all that like you need to keep him, he's really good and all this sort of stuff. That would have been amazing. He could win the game if he had to come off of this brutal first week and then convince everybody to keep him. But
that's right. But it's just he keeps adding fuel to the fire, right? It's it's just not going to be good.
It is.
I don't think so either.
To be fair, though, you really could read Kyland's face when they were having a conversation. The poor guy is so honest that I'm just like, he just can't hide it.
But I mean, even feelings.
even Brent last week, like almost seemed like he was, Frenchie's number one. And now just like that, he's like, okay, I'm done with Frenchie.
Well, he doesn't want to be associated.
Can we just take a minute, because I am super fangirling over Brent.
Oh, did I mention I have Brent in my draft?
What?
Oh, Tina, like he is becoming my absolute favorite. Like this is
good.
What, our third or fourth recorded episode, and he's smart.
He is,
and I love his jokes. He's like, if Frenchie was on the plane acting like this, because he's a flight attendant, he's like,
yeah,
we would have police officers waiting to escort him off the plane when we landed.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, I made a note. I was like, I'm starting to fangirl over Brent. He's becoming my favorite. I think getting a little crush. Like,
right.
liking him. I like him, Brent.
No, he's good and he's smart. And like, even when I think there's like a moment where he's talking to Kyland and he's trying not to like make it seem like he wants him to do what he wants him to do. And he's really good at it.
He's
like really good
to look out for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he
has this calm sense about him, right? I think when he's having those conversations, he kind of exudes that to the other person he's talking to. So it's almost like, I don't know, he's smooth.
How old is he? Because he's got to only be a youngster, but like he acts like he's, at least in our age. Like he acts like he's somebody who's in his 30s or 40s, but like he's got a little baby face on him.
It's gotta be. It's on the thing, right?
Probably.
I will look it up.
I'm like that. I feel like that type of like calmness takes experience. Like,
unless he's always been smooth.
Think he's a flight attendant. I mean, how many different types of personality does he deal with on the plane? And he has to keep that calm sense, if anything, turbulence or whatever. I mean, he's got to be calm all the way around with
absolutely
everything.
That's a good point. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I think he's gonna win.
You think he's gonna win?
I do. I think he's gonna be like top 3.
28.
Final 3. He's 28. Okay.
He's 28.
Almost there.
Yeah.
Sarah Beth. The brains on this girl.
Yeah, I mean, those visual comps are hard. You're going to have a few seconds to kind of, pick out a bunch of different things from what they're showing you and not knowing what's going to be asked.
And then not get confused by it.
Yeah.
Right?
Like when Brent said green, when they said what color was under green.
But I can see why he did it though, because when they put it up there, the way that it looked, the first thing that you saw was the word green in green. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's like a mind fuck.
And they do that on purpose. And it was like a time thing. It was like once you have your color up, like you couldn't swap it out.
No.
It was almost like he saw, and you had to do it the fastest. So he did it, and then was like, as soon as he put it in, he was like, "Son of a bitch!" Like, yeah. So
it was bad.
But so Sarah Beth wins the wild card comp.
Mm-hmm.
And the decision this week, it's not straightforward. We thought last week, I think, that it was going to be like just a competition every week and then you get safety and whatever. So it's a no risk, no reward kind of situation. So in order for her to be able to take advantage of safety, she would have had to swap teams.
Yeah.
So she would have to leave her team and permanently, and she would be on the current like team that's in HOH, and then take somebody who's currently safe and put them on her team, taking them out of safety, which I think if we were in a place like, say, if Frenchie's team had to win, and
if Frenchie had won, he definitely would have switched. It would have been beneficial for him.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly.
But right? I'm thinking like, say Frenchie's team had a HOH, like say he wasn't able to be up on the block, but the whole house was still feeling the way that they were. In this type of a situation, that would have been where somebody could have been like, I'm going to switch with Frenchie.
That's right.
Yeah. Right. And so I definitely think it could have been to an advantage. I think she made the right decision by staying.
Oh, definitely.
She's not in danger.
No, she's not a target this week. Had she taken it, she would have only made herself a target.
Yeah.
She would have turned her back, so to speak, on her team, and then she would have pissed off her team as well as the team she swapped with.
And so putting somebody in danger.
Yeah. So it made no sense for her to take it.
Yeah. No, she definitely made the right decision. I agree.
I feel like if anything, she probably secured her own safety just by not taking it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was definitely the right move.
Yeah.
So Tiffany was talking with, was it Kyland? I'm trying to remember. I didn't write down who was in the room, but she called Frenchie, Brent, and Whitney the three-headed monster.
Yes, that was when she was talking to Kyland to try to convince him to put Frenchie up.
Yeah, so I took note of that because so I knew that like Brent and Frenchie were tight, but I didn't realize that him and Whitney and Frenchie were all tight.
But I think what it is like Brent and Frenchie are kind of, that's how it seemed last week anyways, that they were kind of tight. And I think Brent is tight with Whitney as well.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know that Frenchie and Whitney are tight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, she doesn't, if they were, they're not anymore.
They're not now.
No.
When she was like trying to calm him down, and then in the diary room after, she's like, it is taking everything in me not to blow up on this guy right now. And I felt that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I think everybody felt that.
Oh yeah.
Like she was just saying to him, like, she's like, I don't know what's going on here. Like, you just come out and you start pointing fingers, like, you know what I mean?
At her.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm out. And then she's just like, I don't even know what happened. And you know,
it's putting her game in jeopardy too, because I mean, she's being, you know, the fingers being pointed at her, and she's in a group with other people, and it's like, oh whoa, like, you know, people are, it's gonna make other people think that, okay, well, maybe they do have something on the go, maybe we should nominate. So it, you know, it was kind of a bad move all around. Right?
Yeah, and it's not like he took any time to like check out who was in the room. He was just walking
through,
he
just
pointing
fingers. Boom, that was it.
Right.
The hot guns coming through. He's very erratic.
Frenchie. If anything, it's the Frenchie show right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about him like he's clearly good for TV.
Yeah.
But so then Kyland nominates Frenchie and Brittany.
I was not surprised by that. Were you guys?
Neither was I. It was actually a smart move, I think.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. I think that I would have been surprised if Kyland didn't have to say, like, the way that the production was cut. He had said like, oh, well, Brittany's, you know, showing me now that she's loyal to Frenchie or loyal to her team and whatever. Yeah. If they didn't have to leave that in, I think I would have been more surprised. Because I hadn't really seen a whole lot of that. Like, and her.
But I think where it stems from is the conversation that Brittany had with Kyland up at the HOH room. And Brittany was like, she wasn't given names. It was almost like she was trying to protect her team.
Yeah.
So I mean, that conversation did show Kyland that she was loyal to her team. So, you know, had she won POV, not being on the block herself, would she have actually taken Frenchie down?
Yeah, exactly. And I think she would have.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, if it was your team and you've got 4 people and the potential comes that now you're down to 3 people, whereas, you know, you don't want to be down to less people because that's less people fighting for whatever else is coming up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's a smart move because in this particular case, then he's really only pissing off the people who are on that team.
Yeah.
Because 2 of the team members are up on the block.
Exactly.
So it's not like he's, you know, pissing off this team and that team had he picked someone from another team, right?
And if anything, it's not, I don't even know if he's kind of pissing off that team, or he is pissing off that team, but everybody else in the house probably likes him more because everybody seems to be in agreement that they want Frenchie gone.
Oh,
so the whole house collective wants one person gone. And then this HOH is not only making that happen by putting him on the block, he's nominating the potentially one person who might take him down. Yeah. Right. So I definitely think that was smart.
Yeah, no, definitely smart.
It was. She is pissed. Oh.
I wanted to hold her so bad. She broke my heart because I know
she did, but you know, it was too much emotion. Like, you know,
it was a lot.
You know, yes, emotions go right on high alert as soon as you go into the house.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where you really, really have to try and keep your emotions in check.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, that can be used against you as well. Like you're an emotional player. And so I don't know, it just, that maybe might have been a little too much emotion, I think, for second weekend.
I thought when she cried at nominations, I didn't think that was too bad because I felt like it was, she wasn't bawling. Like it was like, okay, I'm upset. And I felt like maybe she just
But she went into a room right after and she was crying into, I think it was it Ozza?
Yeah,
so,
probably.
yeah.
Maybe
And then
she wasn't
Ozza was
crying.
crying too.
Yeah.
Ozza was crying too, yeah.
It was pretty emotional. And I don't think we're gonna see I don't think that's the end of the emotion we're gonna see.
No.
I think it's gonna go into next week.
I do still like her though, because when they when they went into the diary room, the fire that girl has now.
Oh yeah, I hope the fire kicks in overdrive and she really kicks ass in the POV.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of want her to win just to see, because she's not able to take, she's not gonna take. Well, I wouldn't this early in the game that she would take Frenchie down and stay.
Nah, she'd take herself down if she wants.
But yeah, she'd take herself down. So, Frenchie could still go home. And it's just something that I just want to see her pull it out, because she's passionate. So we need to see kind of what she competes for sure. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So what are your predictions for this week? This is crazy. I'm afraid.
I think at the end of the day, the POV is not going to get used. I think the nominations are going to stay the same. And, I think Frenchie's going.
Yeah. I think if they stay the same, Frenchie's going, but I'm so fucking scared that he's going to be one of these players that you think is gone. And then he wins the veto or somebody makes a deal with him along the way. And then he stays for 3 and 4 weeks. And the whole time I'm like, send him home.
Yeah.
And get Frenchie off my screen.
No, I honestly think he's going to be walking out the door this week. But it is Big Brother. Stranger things have happened.
Right.
My biggest worry is that he'll win the veto. Because we know that he actually can do pretty well with the competitions, depending on what they are. He didn't. How many points did he have in the wild card? He only had 1, right?
Yeah.
So he wasn't doing so great with the mental comp so much, but
and it all depends on what comp is going to be thrown at them too, right?
Right. So if it's physical, he could do it.
Physical could be the combination of both. You never know, right?
And it comes down to who the players are. Let's be honest. I didn't foresee last week Derek X taking the veto at the beginning of the competition, but he was so quick and so smart with it that you really don't know. It depends on who's playing and what the competition is.
Yeah. It's gonna be
and how they look at the competition. Like you say, Derek X looked at his competition
upside down basically
than the other one. So it all depends on how you look at it.
It was such a good strategy. He's gonna go far. I'm really loving the cast.
Yeah.
This season's cast is really, really good.
Yeah, they've done a great job casting this year for sure.
Except for who? Frenchie.
Except Frenchie.
But he's clearly good. He's playing.
No, he is.
He's entertaining. I wonder
what the French
is going on. I wonder if he's going to look back and be disappointed in his game, or if he's going to be proud of his game. Because he's a proclaimed super fan. So I just kind of think about is he going to get home and be proud of it? Is he going to be upset? You know what I mean?
It's, what I think everybody, unless you win the title of Big Brother, I think everybody leaves the house regretting something or wanting to change something about their game.
For sure.
You're always going to look back at it and say, well, maybe I should have done this or should have done that, or maybe you know what I mean? I think it's just a given that yes, there are things he'll probably regret about his game.
Yeah.
And the other side of it is like we said, we're all after saying more than one time that we only see bits and pieces of it. It's what's edited for good television. And the thing is that maybe when he looks back on it and watches it, he might be like, that's not how it was actually went down at all. I don't know.
Yeah. True. People they didn't show this, they didn't show that conversation. This led to me pointing at her, and really, you're right. It really could be anything.
Right. Yeah. That doesn't mean that he's still not erratic, because he very clearly is. Everybody has agreed on it. So,
Well, we saw in the first week where he's going around walking into rooms, looking at everybody and
So
yeah, this may be a bye-bye Frenchie situation, which I'd be fine with. I'm cool with that order. Like Frenchie
yeah,
leaving next.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'd be fine.
I'd have to agree. I mean, he puts me on the edge of my seat
Right?
just a little too far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My nerves. I'm watching it and I'm just like,
Oh, my
I'm
nerves.
so
Oh,
stressed
my
out.
nerves. Yeah.
I debated
Yeah.
having a beer tonight.
I mean,
Wait.
I wonder how he's going to handle being on the block, because that's a different experience as well.
I'm very excited for this week.
You know, like, you know, when you're on the block, sometimes it's a weird vibe that gets added to the whole gameplay, right? Like, it's, you know, people avoid you, people, you know, walk out of rooms when you walk into them. Like, it's a really different, strange vibe. So I wonder, him being a loose cannon right now, how that's going to affect, you know, his, you know, persona in the
Yeah.
house.
Like, will he be a
Crazy.
looser cannon?
He's
Yeah,
going
well,
to
that's what I mean. Will it get
insane.
worse? Will it, you know, will he kind of step his game up and try to get out of it?
Right.
I
Those
don't
are the
know.
predictions we should make. What's he going to do this week?
He's gonna lose his shit.
Maybe he self-evicts, who knows?
Oh, I always forget about that option. See?
What do you mean? Like just says, fuck it, I'm going home?
Yeah, haven't you seen
never
that
know.
happen?
Sometimes the pressure gets to you and you're like, okay, I'm done with this.
Yeah, I have, but it's not often.
Oh,
It
there's
happens. Yeah.
It happens. You
Like
never
this-
know. I'm not saying
he
I'm not saying
might.
he's gonna self-evict, but I could see
Yeah.
him kind of thinking about it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I do remember seeing like players in the past do that.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't that happen to more than one player from season 8 of BB Canada? I feel like there was one that definitely self-evicted, and then another that was going to, and then everything got shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's
right?
what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 2 in the one season, and we were only like, what, 2 weeks in at the
wow.
right?
It was just intense.
Yeah.
It was a very intense house.
Oh my god,
it adds a different level of pressure. It
Yeah.
really does.
So
yeah, I
excited.
can only imagine.
I think we're in for a good week of TV with
Monica
Frenchie
thinks
Block.
you're in for a really wild week as well.
And of course, I'm going on fucking holidays.
Mhm.
Stupid.
So you heard it here first, folks. So Crystal's going to be on vacation. Is it just for Wednesday and Thursday's episode or Sunday as well?
Well, technically, I'm out of the province for 2 weeks, but I mean, like, let's be honest. If you send me the link, I'll try to get on wherever I am.
It may be back to 2 Girls, 1 Pod, and it'll be Melissa and Tina. Or it might be 2 Girls, 1 Pod featuring Crystal.
Maybe. Exactly. I could be the feature this time. It'll be
We're
great.
gonna see what happens.
There we go.
Special guest.
Yeah.
Special guest. We'll interview you. How's your vacay doing?
Oh, we should interview you. That's what we should do for Friday's show. We don't have Friday's show lined up yet, Tina. So you might get a message after this too, be like, hey, so
hey, what are you doing?
Right?
What are you doing?
Tonight?
Like, do you have plans for Friday? No.
We need to talk.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you want to see if Crystal joins us on the show and you want to hear more of our content and our Big Brother after show, then please subscribe to it so more people will know about it. And if you want to tag CBS and Big Brother Canada and Big Brother US, that'd be even better because we'd love it if they would pay us for this. Right? Is that how it works? Is that how you get paid for things?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. Don't ask. I
Right?
click on the link. I join. I don't know nothing else beyond that.
She's like, I'm not getting paid for this.
Yeah,
so.
she's like, you guys aren't paying me. Why should they pay you? Maybe we could pay you, Tina, if they paid us.
Hey,
Oh,
We're gonna
we'll
pay
just
you
buy
I
with
you.
certainly
friendship.
wouldn't turn it away.
Yeah,
Right?
right. We'll pay you in alcohol when we all go out. We'll
And
There we go.
friends.
each take turns
Now
buying
you're
rounds.
talking. Now you're talking.
Yeah.
Right? That's her language.
That
All
is
right.
definitely my language.
That is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a couple
I
of
mean, you saw myself and Tara get excited over those brews.
Yeah, we did.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait to have beers with both of you and Tara. Just kind of see if you're just as excited.
Right?
Oh yes.
I'm sure.
All right. On that note, we're gonna dance our way off. And and make sure I can set this up properly so you guys can hear the music. Like, subscribe, share, blah, 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 all the stuff. and we will see you again on Thursday to recap Wednesday's episode.
That's right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.